Detroit Lions training camp day 5 is in the books, and the fellas got to put on pads today. So you know the intensity was ramped up, and it looks like they did not disappoint. Coming from Pride of Detroit, says Aidan Hutchinson versus Penei Sewell is worth making your way to camp to witness. In their first 2 one-on-one reps, Sewell slightly got the better of Hutchinson in what was close to a stalemate, while Hutchinson showed off his offseason increase in power on the second rep. Hutchinson made an aggressive stab step to the inside of Sewell's set, then whipped back across his body to the outside, deploying a power swim move that propelled him past Sewell. Besides Hutchinson getting stronger, he's a lot more comfortable. You can see it. Sewell said of Hutchinson after practice, he's coming at a different speed. He knows the speed of the game. He knows what he's doing. He's got the playbook under his belt now, so just more comfortable. And this is coming from our first round pick in 2021, the very first individual that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell drafted, the guy that they said last night kind of set the standard for the rest of their tenure, how it was going to go. And don't forget, this is the same guy that went up against Aaron Donald in year 1. Nick Bosa, his very first game in the NFL was against the powerhouse man, the man-child, the man beast, Nick Bosa. And I see a lot of Bosa in Hutchinson, that even for Hutchinson putting on the power. And I made a video about Hutchinson bulking up, and did it look like he was? Because Hutch even got on the Rich Eisen show and said his offseason, it went a lot quicker and he knows what to do, his diet, all that stuff. So this is fantastic we have a great offensive line, and to get credit from a guy who a lot of defensive ends and defensive linemen give credit to in only his second year going into his third year, that's fantastic. So Hutchinson and Sewell, that battle is going to be going on for a long time. But this is kind of intriguing when it comes to the defense. Our defense was horrible last year, but it looks like they are kind of adding something new to the defense. New wrinkles in the defensive scheme. The Lions continue to expand their defensive scheme install and showed a few new wrinkles to start the new week. We are seeing more movement with the Lions edge rushers and linebackers, shifting around the field and alerting responsibilities. Without disclosing too much, we saw a lot of players like Hutchinson, Harris, Romeo Okwara, Derek Barnes, and Trevor Nowaski expand their roles beyond the basics that their position required. Now that's kind of intriguing, right? Because we were wondering, Hutchinson did a lot of standing up in Michigan, right? And he played the first couple of games, like 7 games in the dirt. And then we're like, when are they going to stand this guy up, right? Once they did it, the whole defense changed. And I'm kind of wondering, I wonder what they saw. They said they saw a lot of shifting, and they couldn't really say too much. So this is something that the Detroit Lions wanted to be like, hey, you can say this, right? You can say what we're doing, but you can't go too far because we're trying something new here. So, right, I'm very intrigued by this. Now, I can't wait to go to camp myself and see some things that I've been seeing. But it makes you wonder, the defense, we're good with the offense. We know what the offense can be, but it's the defense that really has us concerned. So Aaron Glenn, when we watch, I'm going to keep referring back to Inside the Den. And Inside the Den, Aaron Glenn barely made it throughout the season with his job. And I think that this is a prove-it year for Aaron Glenn. So creativity, doing something with that defense, to not start like you did last year, is going to be imperative when it comes to keeping his job going forward past this season. But it looks like Jahmyr Gibbs and the running backs got some opportunities as well, with the undrafted rookie free agent kind of showing his stuff today. Says, but it wasn't all doom and gloom, and there was a few times the offensive line created some opportunities. Jahmyr Gibbs was the beneficiary of one of those front side holes, and he quickly found daylight and was through the gap in an instant. UDFA rookie Muhammad Ibrahim also showed a bit more life, displaying a bit of patience, then waiting for a hole to open and aggressively attacking it. In addition to the front 7 showing well in the run defense, a couple of defensive backs also got in with the fun, with Cameron Sutton showing great instincts to fill gaps and Ife Melifonwu registering a tackle for a loss. That's good because we don't really hear much about Ife. You know what I'm saying? Ife is a guy that is on his 3rd year. I believe he was a 3rd round pick, and he is a guy that needs to make this team. If he's going to make this team, he has to show his worth. Now, we brought him in at cornerback, I believe, and then we moved him to safety. He's playing more safety. So he's got to show his worth this year, or he might not even make the team. So it's good to see iffy, kind of making some plays. And that's not the first time, because we heard in, I want to say it was minicamp or OTAs, he was making plays then. So if you Melifonwu, got to make some plays. Good to see Jahmyr Gibbs getting some stuff in. And Muhammad, man, because we already saw Tom Kennedy, fan favorite, get cut this morning. There will be a lot to follow. You will see it's Craig Reynolds could be on the chopping block. We saw last year with Hard Knocks and how he barely made it. And not only would the Deuce be mad at the time, our running back coach would have been mad at Dan Campbell. The team would have been upset, because that's how much Craig Reynolds meant to the team. And he's fighting for a roster spot right now. So those are the notes coming out of training camp day 5 from Pride of Detroit. Again, the article will be linked in the description. You can source it there. Much more to read. So I didn't want to bring everything in so you guys can show them some love and give that article a read. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.